Doing your songwriting, do you find it best, do you have a method? Do you start with the guitar? Do you start with the lyrics? Do you journal and see what comes from that, or all of the above?
Yeah, kind of all of the above. Usually I'm just picking up a guitar and just start strumming and see what comes out. And sometimes the cool stuff comes out when you're not trying, and a lot of horrible stuff comes out too. You just have to weed through it. You got to get through the bad stuff to get to the good stuff. And a lot of times I'll just try out melodies and might sing nonsense syllables, and sometimes some words will come out, and that actually might start something.
Talking about your daughter, she is a musician, a singer-songwriter, you said, and what is she up to these days?
Well, she was actually a signed writer for Warner Chappell for a while, and then that didn't pan out for the long run. So she keeps her foot into in music. She used to play a lot around the clubs in Los Angeles, but she has other work going too for survival, because it's really it's tough out there. I believe Joe's daughter Lucy is also a singer, songwriter, and musician. So I guess that happens in families. My father was a musician. Also, my son, who's 19, goes to the Berklee College of Music in Boston. I just visited him yesterday. He's in his second year there. So we're all just happy artists.
Yeah, right.
There's nobody like him. He has his own take on the world, and he's a lot of fun, and he's not as crazy as you used to be, but you know, he used to do a lot of strange things on the road. He actually did, I think this is public knowledge, he actually did have a road case made for his chainsaw when he did a lot of damage to hotels in the past, just kind of for fun. But I think it got too expensive after a while, and then he finally got older and came to his senses. Dressed like them, and we did all their songs, and the Kingston Trio at the time were very big. Just recently, within the last couple of years, I became friends with one of the Kingston Trio guys, and then shortly after that, his name was Nick Reynolds. He was pretty ill and he died, but he let me take his guitar. I have his guitar, the same one that played on a lot of the early Kingston Trio hits a long time ago. I have it at my house. So, and I got to play it a little bit on my album, so that was really
That's
thrilling.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really great.
What a great story.
Yeah. First time I heard myself on the radio, I was 19, and I heard, and it was over the radio, and I was on a date. I remember it was good, and because of that, our band, our little local band in Sacramento, we were able to open up shows for the big acts that came. I opened up shows for Sonny and Cher, Herman's Hermits, the Love and Spoonful, who else? And later on, the Grateful Dead, the Airplane, people like that. It was pretty good. I've had a pretty good run so far. Yeah. I tried to get Alison Krauss to sing on this album of mine. She wanted to do it, but she was busy with that Led Zeppelin guy. So she was very busy, and when she could do it, I was busy. So that didn't work out. I hope to do that sometime. Maybe on a future record. I have Benmont Tench from the Heartbreakers, from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Band, right.
Yeah. Who else? Who am I missing? I had the famous Jim Keltner playing drums on some things, and my son Ben, who's the student in Boston, played drums on one song.
So why don't you take it away there, Timothy?
This truly is spontaneous. I guess I'll see if I'll get through the whole thing of the first song on the album, which is called One More Mile. Stuck in the house inside. I can't seem to leave my bed, but my brain is racing like there ain't no end. I'm thinking about the things you said. Well, maybe I'm a madman, maybe I'm a fool, or maybe I live in denial. I gotta get up, get out, get on that road and go one more mile. Well, I cleaned up the kitchen and it looks so good. I'm ready to live my life. I got my umbrella and my rubber boots. I even got my pocket knife. I'm gonna get all wet, gonna trudge through the mud, gonna do it all up in style. I won't second guess, gonna try my best to go one more mile. How am I supposed to find your front door? Where am I gonna spend the night? A little peace of mind is all I'm looking for, or maybe just a little light. I'm looking for something, searching my soul, gotta speak with my inner child. As I begin to talk, it says to keep on walking just one more mile. Instrumental. Use your imagination. Can't stop fighting with the one you love, you better crawl inside yourself. You gotta chase them devils floating around your head and stick them up on that shelf. And when things get better now, don't be fooled, though it might be good for a while. Keep your eyes wide open and do that work and go one more mile. Supposed to find your front door? Where am I gonna spend the night? A little peace of mind is all I'm looking for, or maybe just a little light. There's Jesus bleeding, there's Buddha on the hill, and Krishna's got a funny smile. They all say my friend is just around the bend, about one more mile.
What kind of advice can you offer a musician that is looking to find that mass appeal in today's music world? Good luck, right?
Yeah, good luck. It's, you know, it was difficult when I was young, but there was a whole different scenario back then too. There was a whole different formula. People ask me for advice all the time. All I can say is if you get into this music thing, just remember why you first got into it. No matter what happens, whether you're highly successful and it turns into this monster business, or whether you just end up playing on weekends at a club or just in your living room, just remember that you did it originally because it was a lot of fun. When we're not together as a band, we're really off separately doing our own mostly family-related activities and any kind of solo work we have. But when we get together, it really is to go to work, and we put all our energy into that. We get together to work, and we work very hard and diligently. At every show we do sound checks and make sure everything's good. We're hands-on with lighting and production, everything. So it really is, it's all-consuming when we're together. As the Eagles, we get together to work.
Randy Meisner, do you still see him or have a relationship?
I'm friendly with Randy. We don't really hang out together. When we see each other, we're happy to see each other. But yeah, I actually haven't seen him in quite a while now. He's the guy that I replaced twice.
Exactly.
Right? So when we were younger, I used to ask him what he was up to next, but it's too old to be asking that now.
Now, why did he leave the Eagles originally when you got to step into his shoes for the second time?
I believe that he was sort of fired and he quit at the same time. They just weren't having a good time of it. He wasn't having a good time, and I don't know the details, even though I've been told stories, are pretty unclear.
You have a new album that just came out. What is the name of your new album?
It's called Expando.
Expando. Can you expand on that?
I can. It's a word that came from. I grew up in a trailer house. I had 3 different trailer houses, and the biggest one we had that towards the end, which I lived in all through high school, was called an Expando. My family and I. My dad was a musician as well. Earlier, when we had when we first moved into a trailer, he actually pulled us around to his different gigs and stuff. I went to school in a lot of places. But the Expando was special. Why? Because it was you could actually put a crank lever inside, and it would literally expand from 8 feet to 15 feet. And my brother, me, and my mom and dad were living in a palace then. It was huge to us. It was called Expando. I found a brochure about the Expando trailer house, and I used it on a picture of the actual trailer on the back of my album cover. But I also like the word because it implies growing and expanding, and it's a little bit mysterious, I suppose. So I thought it would be a good title, and I really think this album is the best thing I've ever done to date. So I was able to do whatever the hell I wanted, so I did. I called it Expando. Well, when I first came to LA, within a few years, people started paying attention to my voice, and I was thrilled because I got to sing on a lot of records. I sang for Steely Dan, Elton John, Crosby, Stills, Nash. Who am I missing? Just quite a long list of people well known and not and not that well known. And I was so thrilled that I used to gladly do it for nothing, until I had a friend of mine tell me that this is what I do and I ought to get paid. I try to keep my songwriting craft going when I can, but the Eagles are, will probably be calling it maybe as early as next spring, so that always takes priority. And we might start doing some shows again then, certainly sometime next year. So, I mean, I've been totally busy with them for a long time. The only way I was able to do this new album of mine was kind of in the cracks. Yeah.
So while you were with Steely Dan, those 2 guys, Donald and Walter, they are quite a twosome. Do you have any fun stories of when you were kicking around with those guys?
Well, they would really call me to work. I never really did any major hanging out with them, but it was pretty interesting experience because I thought that I was really picky and had to have things just right. But there was certainly bands I've been in, including the Eagles, are that way. But they really take the cake. They just demanded perfection.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure talking to you.